Welcome to another React video. This time I'm doing something a little different. Due to an interesting situation that happened with one of my Australia videos, I've decided to compensate for that by making one big supercut of all of my Australia video reactions in one place. So if you enjoy it, come stick around and enjoy.
Australia has a lot of spiders, but recently we found a new one, because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australia moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context, one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is the Sydney funnel web, the deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think?
Why are we starting with spiders? I knew we were gonna get to spiders, but why are we already starting on spiders? Like, there's other things in Australia. It doesn't always need to be spiders, right? Right.
We're gonna find it. These scary looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather. Now, why do...
Okay, yeah, we're starting off strong. That's horrifying. Like, what? It goes through. It can go through leather.
I bring these little nightmares up. What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery?
I don't know.
A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup. That's right, Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger.
What?
How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches. And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough.
Yeah,
2 inches
no, it is.
actually
It is
huge. By comparison, this is the new one. It's twice the fucking size.
Oh my god.
4 inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet? The Newcastle Big Boy. The deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy.
It's
only in Australia.
Boy. I think this is too loud, right? I have to lower the volume a little bit. He is a loud boy. He is a loud boy. Oh, that is a big ball of nope. That is a massive ball of nope. Oh my god. we are literally 1.5 minutes in, and I can't even imagine where this goes.
Platypus are weird.
I love platypus,
I'm not sure
though.
you quite understand just how fucking weird. See, everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator and just called it a day. But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus.
They're venomous?
Features. First up, as is the qualifier for any Australian animal,
so
did you know they're venomous?
Yes, I did.
No, I'm not fucking with you. You heard me correctly. Male platypus actually have venomous spurs on their hind legs.
Yep.
These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators.
That much I know.
As well as a tool for throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season. And while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung by them doesn't fucking suck. See, platypus venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them again, these effects can last for several months and have no treatment or anti-venom.
I'm sorry,
if
what?
Perry stabs your shit.
Whoa. How does that stay in your system for months? Okay, I mean, they're still really cute, but what?
Your only option is to cry about it. Next on the list of offensive capabilities, I shit you not, platypus share the same hunting method as sharks. You see, that big-ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly, containing electroreceptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. Meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear, they know about it. And last but not least, as if those things weren't already unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent.
What?
They glow.
What?
If you hit these things with a black light, they go bright fucking green. And the best part of that is, we have no clue why they do it. I mean, I guess it just means Perry was a biblically accurate platypus man. I'll give up, man. Who fucking designed this thing? Stepping on this rock could straight up paralyze.
Stonefish! I know this one. Okay, before we even continue, I have a story for you. Well, let's see if it's a stonefish first.
It's because This isn't actually a rock. That is a stonefish.
Okay, all right. So I have a fun scuba diving story for you. So as you guys know, I'm a diver, and as I've told my Twitch chat, I really haven't told YouTube. I was on a dive with my father, and my father is a dive master. So now he should know his stuff when he's underneath the when he's in the ocean with me, right? No. He thought it was a good idea to break dive rule number 1, and he stuck his hand into a hole that he did not know what was in there because he was trying to goat out a baby eel. Very dumb thing to do. All of a sudden, below him, I see these little wings open up, right? That are bright purple. I immediately grab him and I pull him and rip him up as hard as I can. And he looks at me like I am crazy. Now, you can't speak when you're diving because you have a regulator in. So I point down and he literally sees not one, but like 6 stonefish just all around where we were that he was just right on top of. He was right on top of these. So that was just, fun little stonefish story for you guys.
A species of underwater menace native to Australia. And coming as a surprise to absolutely no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean. Because of course it is. As if the fucking snakes and spiders weren't enough, now I can get packed up by a pet rock.
Yep.
But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat to my mental health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you. No. This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal kingdom to make hunting easier. And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach. And that
They're so evil. They're so evil.
Stored in these 13 giant, highly toxic spines.
Have you guys ever seen when they put like the pad over the spikes of these things? So you see that not only does it eject the venom, it does so with force. So it overdoses the venom because it's just mean. It's just absolutely mean.
That deliver venom when pressed
this.
on.
Yes,
you
this.
can probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot.
Yep.
And step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of neurotoxin.
Yep.
Straight into your system. Oh, you thought it was normal venom. No. You see, these things maxed out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs.
It's so
in
insane.
Under an hour.
It's
and
so
then,
insane.
5, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis.
Yep.
Because this is Australia, where even the scenery is trying to one-shot me. This bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
What?
Introducing the cassowary, a species of ratite native to the land down under. And for once, guys, it's not venomous. Can still flatline you, though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens belong to the same family of birds as the emu, and as such share their impressive size, coming in at a solid 79 kilos and growing up to 6 feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory, mount these things like a chocobo. But what makes them stick out from emus? Well, you see, the cassowary is basically a spec ops emu, being twice the weight, highly territorial, and most importantly...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw a bird make that sound at me, my pants would be fucking destroyed and I would be gone. I would be gone. That is a sound I don't want to hear coming from a bird. That is... I do not like that. I'm going back just to hear that again.
Twice the weight, highly territorial.
I hate it.
Coming with a combat knife strapped to their foot. That's right, this is a cassowary claw, and it's the reason they can hit you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these claws are a full 5 inches long. And you know what I mean? Honestly, 5 inches, way too big for anything, and especially for something that's going inside me. And if you anger the tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're gonna get, as their go-to defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife and attempt to disembowel you. And I mean,
oh my
God! Your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you flying, which can cause some fairly major problems. Problems like the incident that occurred in 2012, where I you not, a cassowary ran up behind a random tourist, hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small cliff into the ocean. I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country where at any point I could be hit with a sneak attack by a kaiju turkey is terrifying.
I know that we know this, right? Like, I know that we understand that Australia is just basically, was it Khalid? Khalid in Elden Ring? I know they based it off Australia, basically. Like, but what? Like, that is scary. So far, that takes the cake of the scariest thing in the series of what we've been watching today. That is, I don't like that. I don't like that bird. I'm sorry.
Touching this plant will put you in the hospital.
I'm dying.
This is the Gimpy plant, a piece of foliage native to the land down under. And surprising no one,
we're on plants. Now we're talking about how plants are going to kill us. Okay.
not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet.
Of course it is.
No, of course, man. Even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs that, upon closer inspection, aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin, and cause
Why does everything have neurotoxin in Australia? What the actual... What? What?
Absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like, comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times.
Oh my God.
The part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful cunt of a plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground. This is because your hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung. This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down.
So they stay there forever. Oh my God.
Will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin-emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin any time that they're moved or disturbed.
Oh my
This
God.
chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of
Look up the cousin's tree nettle size and toxin. I hate this. I hate it so much. Also, thank you, but oh my God.
trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves
as toilet paper. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just was like, what could be the worst thing? What could be the worst thing? I love how you probably could hear my chair wheel back as I just kicked away from my desk. Like, there's nothing I could imagine being worse. There is nothing I could imagine as a worse outcome for this. Oh my God.
I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts. Crocodiles are just dinosaurs that forgot to go extinct.
I mean, crocodiles I'm not going to be scared by crocodiles.
I'm dead
Come on.
serious, and I cannot think of a croc species to better make my point than the saltwater crocodile, a species native to the land down under, and shocking absolutely no one, yes, it can and will eat you.
Yeah.
You see, keeping on theme with the whole forgetting to go extinct thing, the Salties stat spread just feels like something that should have been patched out with the rest of Jurassic Park, starting with their ridiculous size.
Yeah,
Salties are the largest reptile on the planet, coming in at a total of 6 meters long with a maximum weight of 1,100 kilos, which makes this murder lizard genuinely longer than my car. And the f***ed up part is that despite being longer than my ute, they are for some reason absolute masters of stealth. You see, crocs are ambush predators, which is a scientific way of saying they are dirty f***ing campers. You see, they've got 2 raised eyes that sit on the top of their heads, which means they can submerge their Ford Falcon-sized frame basically entirely under the water without sacrificing the ability to spot whatever they are looking to turn into a Happy Meal. And from your perspective as the Happy Meal, they are really difficult to see, which makes it very easy to walk just a little too close and, get bitten in half by that hydraulic press they call a mouth.
Now... How many deaths a year happen in Australia to these things? I mean, I'm sure it gets divided among the million things that try to kill you, but like, I can't imagine. Also, other thing I've learned with that hydraulic press of the mouth thing, I remember hearing, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I remember hearing that because their closing force is so powerful that you could literally just hold it closed with your hand because the opening force is so weak.
That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
That's right, just like any good camper, these scaly arseholes are packing a one-shot in the form of one of the highest bite forces of any animal on the f***ing planet, having been recorded at putting out a maximum of 3,700 psi of force through their jaws. To put that into context, your skull will crack at 1,100 psi, so a croc would pop your head like a watermelon. And if you don't immediately get folded by the first bite, those jaws will latch onto you as the croc begins a death roll.
Oh, the
spinning
death
its ton of
rolls.
body weight like a washing machine until whatever part of you it has decided to eat snaps off and is added to its protein goals. But the best thing about the crocodile is their build is so f***ing good. They have genuinely been around with very little evolutionary change for 65 million years. Which means I grew up watching Steve Irwin wrestle dinosaurs for fun. Rest in peace, you absolute f***ing legend. Koalas are really dumb. In fact, Australia's fuzzy eye...
Let's see if I remember this correctly. Let's see if I can predict what he's going to say. Some can carry chlamydia. They're so stupid that they can't eat eucalyptus leaves, which are... I don't remember if they're poisonous or not, but they've developed to eat something that's actually bad for them. And that they can't process eating it on a flat surface. That's what I remember from koalas. We'll see.
Con is probably the dumbest thing on the planet. And that stupidity starts with their diet, because of all the things they could have chosen to eat, they chose to eat nothing but straight up poison.
Yep.
You see, koalas feed exclusively on eucalyptus leaves, which, shocking no one, are highly toxic. They are full to the brim with eucalypt oil, which is so fucking poisonous that as little as 3.75 mil is enough to land you in the afterlife, with the Reaper asking you why the fuck you felt the need to eat a leaf.
Why?
Oh, it's also highly flammable and burns like napalm, because Australia. Now, despite nature putting up this giant...
You know your marsupials, it seems? My specialization was veterinary medicine, so I did learn a lot about animals and zoology. I'm not totally versed in like entomology, like with the insects and stuff of Australia, but when it comes to like marsupials and stuff like that, I know a little bit. Like I'm not like super knowledgeable, but I have a layman's understanding.
Do not eat sign. That did not stop the koala, because he can't fucking read. This suboptimal bulking diet not only gives the koala all in the way of nutrition, but also requires their body to rest to filter out the toxins so they don't fucking cark it. Meaning they need to spend upwards of 18 hours a day sleeping in order to just digest their fucking food. These dumbasses spend most of their life in a food coma. That is, however, if they even get to the food to begin with, because they are so mind-numbingly brain dead that they will not recognize a eucalyptus leaf as food unless it is on the branch. I could give this dumbass a lifetime supply of food, and if it wasn't on a stick, he would starve to death. It should come as no surprise to you at this point that the koala has such an esky temperature IQ that they literally have a smooth brain. The thoughts
I did not know that.
Right off of this dumb c***. I love him.
He's so cute.
This wasp is basically a xenomorph.
Wait. Is it wait, let's see if I remember the name of it. It's it's on the tip of my tongue. The hawk wasp or something like that, right? It's something like that. It's the one that uses a tarantula as a carrier for its offspring, right? Jeweled hornet, maybe that's what it is.
Introducing the tarantula hawk wasp.
Possibly
one of the most nightmare-inducing insects on the planet.
Pretty sure I'm right.
The reason it's such a threat to your mental health is because its hunting and reproduction strategy is ripped straight from Ellen Ripley's autobiography.
Yeah, this thing is terrifying.
Before we get to the strats, you're gonna have to learn a little bit about it first. Native to Australia, because of course it fucking is, this fucker is the largest wasp on the planet.
I hate this thing.
Coming in at a massive...
There's one of these in the States.
Inches, which, I mean, boys, we would all agree, well well above average, right? Huge. And this is probably the most effective 2 inches has ever been because it has the second most painful sting of any insect on the planet, coming in just barely behind the bullet ant.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
As blinding, debilitating, and electric. Now, the size and poison aren't just for nothing, because as the name tarantula hawk wasp suggests, they are purpose-built, genetically perfect killing machines designed specifically to violate...
I want you guys to understand, for anybody who's not seen this and don't know what they do, I am going to warn you, if he explains it in the detail that I have heard this, it is one of the most unpleasant experiences you will hear.
Spiders, making Australia basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for them. But they don't just execute the spiders. No, that'd be too normal. Hawk wasps use spiders to reproduce in one of the most horrific ways possible. And that all starts with a female hawk wasp hunting down a tarantula. As the buff bulking spider takes a wrong turn down a dark alley, the hawk wasp, noticing the 8 sets of TNs on his feet, proceeds to fucking jump him, flying down from above to land a sting into the spider's abdomen, instantly and permanently paralyzing. The Bug Harbour butcher then proceeds to drag the still completely conscious and aware spider into an isolated kill room, which is where the fucked up part really begins. Because our wasp isn't hungry, it's pregnant, and proceeds to lay its egg on the paralysed spider's abdomen. After about 3 to 4 days, that egg hatches into a larvae.
While it's still alive.
Very, very hungry larvae. Fortunately, there's a whole bunch of fresh fruit right here underneath them. That food being the still paralysed, still very conscious and aware spider. The larvae burrows into the spider's abdomen and gets to work converting it into a KFC family bucket, consuming it from the inside out, purposely avoiding vital organs to keep the food nice and fresh. After it's done consuming a living being, the larvae breaks forth from the demolished corpse like a fucking chest burster and fucks off to continue the generational arachnid violation. Anywho, good luck.
He neglects to admit one thing about it that's even more effed up. The tarantulas that get grabbed by these things are males, because they're males that are crossing the desert to find mates. So while the males are in the desert, the male gets impregnated by these things. So yeah, fun fact for you all.
Getting any sleep tonight? A gorilla can't beat 100 men in a fight. He gets jumped. But that begs the question, which animal does win?
Hippo?
And the answer, stepping into the ring at 5 meters long and weighing in at a genuinely frightening 4,500 kilos, I present to you the hippopotamus. Yeah, look, a hippo causing a 100-long line at the gates of heaven after a fight is honestly pretty plausible. You see, despite the fantastic PR work Moodang has done for the hippopotamus community...
Look how cute the baby is!
I want Moody!
Doesn't change the fact that Moto here is a sentient Ford F-150, the temperament of a fucking serial killer who can win this fight for one very specific reason. You can't fucking hurt it.
Yeah.
You say the hippopotamus is possibly the tankiest land animal on the
They're so
planet,
fast for what they are.
Unbelievably thick. 2-inch high. Now look, we all know 2 inches is a lot, especially in the sheets, but in the streets of the African savannah, this makes them practically Don't believe me? Here is a hippopotamus walking away from 10 lions trying to convert it into a family meal. Notice how the hippopotamus does not give a single fuck. If Mufasa and his extended family can't hurt it, neither can you. However, don't let the fact that it's walking away fool you here. The hippopotamus is not a peaceful animal. They are, in fact, violent, psychopathic, 4.5-ton thundercats that can...
But they just kill you for the love of the game.
Bite you in half. A hippo's jaw produces 2,000 PSI of pure crushing force. So if he catches your ass...
Oh
You
my
are the
God.
watermelon. And as if the hydraulic press wasn't bad enough, don't forget they've got two 20-inch fangs in that mouth that'll put a hole in you big enough to stick your f***ing arm through. But honestly, the bite doesn't even f***ing matter. It weighs 4.5 tons and
God.
can run at 30
Yeah, this is it.
an hour.
Yeah, watching these things run is insane.
Getting hit by a charging hippo is like getting hit by a f***ing bus. There is no way we are winning a fight against something that could probably take out 10 people just by
It's literally a
rolling
space
over.
marine. It's literally
In
a space
summary,
marine.
Don't f with the hungry hippo. Komodo dragons are horror villains.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, this
Yeah, they are.
industrial-sized lizard is easily one of the biggest assholes in the animal kingdom when it comes to hunting methods, packing a PhD in suffering and a double degree in biological warfare purely because they cannot be expending effort to hunt.
Yeah. Because
You see,
let's see if I get this one correct on this one, right? When they bite from their, like, what's in their saliva, right? When they bite their prey, it takes a while, right? So they just find the dead body after it dies from the toxins. I could be totally wrong, but that's vaguely how I remember it.
Little cousin here is the largest lizard in the world, weighing up to 166 kilos and
They're
being
Nurgle's
a full
lizard.
3.13 meters in length, which means for the short kings in my audience, if you're brave enough, bang a motor transport right there. Now, being the reptile equivalent of a Cadillac Escalade means that the Komodo dragon needs to consume a lot of calories to keep that bulk going. However, rather than using that bulk to proactively chase down and body slam its prey, they can take down prey 3 times their size because as if being a reptilian tank was not enough, they are also venomous.
Of course they are.
And this isn't just your run-of-the-mill snake venom that gives you a nice
It's
quick
dirty.
15-minute
It's dirty.
No. A Komodo hunt starts with it running up to its prey and giving it a nice big chomp on the leg, injecting it with hemorrhagic venom. After biting, the Komodo dragon off and just sits there watching. The confused and bewildered
It's
animal
insane.
runs off into the forest, leaking blood, allowing that Komodo dragon to track it like a DoorDash order. A week goes by, and that bite wound isn't closing because hemorrhagic venom prevents blood clots. So, the animal is still slowly
It's
bleeding
so
out,
evil.
and the Komodo is still watching.
It's the Scarlet
More time
Rot.
passes. That bite wound gets infected because Komodos are carrion for...
I'm sorry, what? They track women on their periods? What? What?
Eaters, meaning that the inside of their mouth is full of enough rotting flesh and bacteria to give Asmongold a run for his money. The infection begins to drain the animal's strength, and the Komodo is still watching. Another week passes. The infection has spread, and the flesh has begun to rot. And you best believe that f***ass lizard is still there watching like he's waiting for his meal to heat up in the microwave. Once the bleeding, disease-ridden animal becomes too exhausted to move on its own and collapses, the Komodo strolls over and eats it alive, shredding it into chunks if it's larger, or if it's small enough, swallowing it whole as it screams on the way down. Even for me, man.
Oh my
that's
God.
fucked. This is the deadliest snake in the world. Introducing the inland taipan, and being the deadliest venom noodle in
course,
the
it's on
world,
Australia.
I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found. It's Australia, of course it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically, as the name suggests, the tapir is found inland in the outback. Luckily,
Oh, it's Keelan, yeah.
extremely far from civilization, because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter. Because despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters, the tapir is here to show you that you absolutely can feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet. Tapir venom is a pina colada of pain, containing, but not limited to, hemotoxins to cause blood clots, myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin.
You're back with the
If it
neurotoxin.
bites you, you will get a headache, vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes. And that venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that to
8 times?
100 people.
Okay,
But
put my
funniest
guess into the
part
ground. Holy
of this
shit.
snake's venom is that in the wild, they only hunt rats and f***ing mice.
What?
The deadliest venom on the planet, and they are using it to pack up Remy the rat. It's like hunting a rabbit with a f***ing AWP.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Counter-terrorists win.
This adorable little
the blue ring
octopus
spider-
is
blue ring
also
octopus,
the
sorry.
world's deadliest. Introducing the blue-ringed octopus, a species of cephalopod native to
It's so
Australia,
pretty, though.
and in a shock to precisely 0 people at this point, it's venomous.
Of course.
Because of course it's fucking venomous. Why wouldn't it be venomous? That'd make my life way too fucking easy. Now, to its credit, unlike most of the toxic bullshit in this hellscape I call home, they at least have the common decency to be coloured like a fucking neon sign. However, it immediately loses this credit by being the octopus equivalent of a fucking hobbit, coming in smaller than a 50-cent coin. And this is a problem, because it is the most venomous octopus in the world.
And you can't even see it.
That's right, this fluoro spaghetti ball is packed to the brim with neurotoxin, more specifically, tetrodotoxin. You know, the same shit that turns cooking a puff fish into a quick time event.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah, these little guys are packing it too. However, because it is Australian, the blue-ringed octopus is on violence timing and is the only animal in the world to use this as an offensive measure by way of a venomous bite. But what does the venom actually do? Well, imagine you're wading through the rock pools with the homies, and you accidentally disturb this little gentleman's residence. The blue ring, taking the American approach to home defense, suctions onto your leg and bites you. Best part, it's completely painless. So if you're distracted by how thick your mate's looking in those Speedos, you aren't going to feel shit. That is, until your face starts tingling like TV static. It's warm out here under the sun, but
Oh,
you
God.
weren't sweating like this 5 minutes ago, and now you got a headache. You start to feel sick, weak. You go to call out, but your voice comes out slurred like you just knocked back a bottle of vodka.
This is terrifying.
Vodka?
And then suddenly, your legs come out from under you, and you hit the beach. Fun fact about tetrodotoxin. It's a paralytic. Freezes up your muscles one by one, starting with your arms and legs, which is why you're kissing the sand. You know what else is a muscle? Your diaphragm, the muscle that controls your breathing. And turns those bad boys off too. And so, your chest stops rising and falling, and you suffocate to death right there on the beach. Now, you may be wondering,
That's a bit
how
grim.
come no one called an ambulance? That's easy. They didn't have time to. You went up to meet your ancestors in under 20 minutes. God ordered your
my
ass
God.
with same-day shipping, and this little fucker delivered. Employee of the month. This shrimp can cause explosions.
Okay, it's the mantis shrimp. We love it.
Blow up.
Introducing the mantis shrimp, native to the West Indo-Pacific Ocean and possibly...
You know, I never even knew these things were edible. I shouldn't have realized that, but I didn't know they were edible. I was in Japan last year, and I was at a sushi bar, and they had this, so I got to try it. It's nothing special, but I had no idea I could eat it. But I can now say that I've eaten something that's that its punch can reach the surface temperature of the sun, right? Is that what people usually like to say? Which I still think is like a gross over-exaggeration.
Possibly the coolest crustacean under the sea, because this fluorescent armored sausage is actually a voracious, bloodthirsty predator.
These things are
rocking
mean,
enough
though.
surveillance equipment to scare the CIA with a weapon powerful enough to surpass Metal Gear. See, the mantis shrimp is a highly effective predator, and they find and track their prey with easily the most advanced set of eyes on the planet.
They're
First
just
off,
cute, punchy
each of these
boys.
eye stalks can rotate independently like a periscope, giving them a full 360 degrees of vision. However, more importantly, they can see colours we can't. You see, the mantis shrimp's eyes contain a full 15 photoreceptor cones compared to our 3. Which is a fancy
really cool.
way of saying they can see in 16K HDR with ray tracing enabled at 500 render distance.
Oh my piece.
Now, not only is the visual clarity unmatched, they can also see into the infrared and ultraviolet light spectrums. And despite
I mean, that's really cool. Like I
all
said,
of this,
I've heard this before, but
they
it is
still
really
can't
neat.
find who asked. What they can, however, find is their next meal. The mantis shrimp subsists on a diet of fish, worms, squidward, and, most importantly, Mr. Krabs. Now, crabs famously exist inside of a defensive shell. So, how does this polite little gentleman
I love
break
watching
into
these.
the shell? Simple. He throws hands. That's right, weighing in at only 90 grams and 38 centimeters in length, the mantis shrimp has a punch that produces 15,000 newtons of force.
I love it.
That is 176 newtons per gram. So if a human was capable of that same kind of force, a right hook from someone who weighs 80 kilo would be like getting hit in the face with 6 sticks of dynamite. Now, to produce that force, its claw needs to be moving at 83.
Do you know that you can't actually put these things in a proper fish tank? You have to put them in a specific type of plastic rather than the glass because they will punch your glass out. Like, they will straight up break your tank.
Kilometers an hour, which is so fast it creates a vacuum in the water called a cavitation bubble, which then immediately collapses at such a speed it creates a miniature explosion that flashbangs the target and reaches a temperature hotter than the surface of the sun. Mr. Krabs is getting f***ing disintegrated.
Money.
Most snails aren't scary.
Correct.
Except for this one. This one.
Cone snail!
Introducing the cone snail, an aquatic mollusk native to the land down under. And as seems to be the requirement when sharing your postcode with a kangaroo, you guessed it. It can quite easily cause your neck snap to be in a coffin. And the way it can achieve it is this bad boy right here. You see, despite most snails having a reputation for being slow goobers that get folded by a salt shaker, the cone snail is a highly effective ambush predator. And you may be wondering, how the fuck does a creature that moves slower than the GTA 6 development cycle hunt anything? Well, that's simple. It has a grappling hook. That's right, Gary's murderous little cousin here is a roadhog, mate.
Hi there.
And he hunts by slowly but surely stalking up on his prey until he's just within range and
then
then
done.
Bang! The cone snail does a quarter circle input, spitting out a tooth harpoon at 90 kilometers an hour. This harpoon then nails its prey, allowing them to reel it in like he's playing Scorpion. And in case
Oh
that
my
wasn't
God.
bad enough, as seems to be a requirement for spawning on Australian servers, it's venomous.
Of course.
That harpoon also injects its prey with a highly potent neurotoxin.
Of course, I was gonna say, it's gonna be a neurotoxin. It's gonna absolutely be a neurotoxin. Everything's a freaking neurotoxin.
Put up a fight as it is sucked into the snail's ginormous maw like a nightmarish version of Kirby. And, just in case you thought for once you might be safe, cone snail venom is potent enough to kill 700 people with one sting. Oh, yeah, and there's no anti-venom. Because it's not enough that it can kill me. No, I have to die knowing there is zero counterplay. Who balanced this If you see this thing T-pose, run.
But they're cute.
Introducing the anteater, a goofy little creature native to
goofy.
Brazil, and to understand why the absolute stance on this bad boy is a threat to your health, you're going to have to understand a little about his lifestyle first. Now listen, I know this may come as a shock to you, but the anteater eats ants. And weighing in at 40 kilos and 1.8 meters in length, he needs to consume upwards of 40,000 ants per day.
Damn.
Now, in order to help him hit his bulking goals, the anteater has a
they do
mystery
look
mouse
huggable.
tool stored inside that XL sniffer. A 60 centimeter long.
Oh god, it's so
tongue
grim. It's so grim.
designed to snake its way down an ant colony's tunnel network.
I hate it.
Smash
I hate
into
it.
their living room and abduct the entire cast of Bug's life and convert them into a high-calorie meal. However, what that tongue do only goes so far, as an ant colony can extend up to 4 meters underground, and termites live in high-rises, which means our boy here is going to have to do a little excavation to get to the goods. But last I checked, an anteater can't go down to Bunnings and buy a shovel. So how does he dig? Oh, that's simple, with the combat knives he has for claws. Yeah, anteaters are permanently cosplaying Freddy Krueger with a set of 4-inch claws, which, proving the effectiveness of a few inches, can crack through f***ing concrete.
What?
Now, these work great for digging, but they are also more than capable of flatlining you. When threatened, the anteater will rear up into a defensive
can break through
T-pose.
concrete.
This is your sign, if you are smart, to turn around and all the way off. If, however, you were, say, some dumbass
they're not
trophy
cute anymore.
hunter who really felt the need to try and stab an animal for no reason other than ego, the anteater will swipe at you with those claws, which are at the perfect height to nail your inner thigh, slip through your flesh like butter, and sever your femoral artery, causing you to bleed out in 2 minutes while the anteater watches you go meet your ancestors. Can you imagine having to explain to your ancestors who felled woolly mammoths you got your packed up by the most unserious creature on the planet hitting a T-pose? Australia's scariest...
You know, it can't get any worse, right? Like, we made it through the worst stuff already, right? Because the anteater's like, you know, it's not gonna get it. The anteater's pretty chill, so I feel like we're winding down. I see arachnophobia on the screen. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Spider is hiding a deep secret.
Oh, I hate it.
But what is it? Well, introducing the Huntsman, native to the land down under, and the #1 cause of tourists absolutely shitting themselves on camera. And look, in defense of said tourists, I will be the first to admit, yeah, this looks scarier than a
I don't
job
like it.
application.
Oh,
Those
I don't like it.
gangly-ass
Oh, I
sleeves and
don't
the
like
hair
it.
make him look like Slenderman's testicle. Now, as if having a negative charisma stat wasn't bad enough, I regret to inform you that the Huntsman spider grows up to 30 centimeters in size, making it the largest spider on the planet by leg span, and legally allowing Subway to market him as a foot long.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
The spider equivalent of a Ford F-150, you'd think he'd have the common decency to be slow, you know, tank build. Unfortunately, the Huntsman is f***ing turbocharged.
No,
Now, it's usually at this point in the video that I would inform you that he is also highly venomous, because it's Australia. However, that's his big secret. The Huntsman is a big sweetheart. You see, despite looking like an SCP, huntsmen are incredibly timid, and on the rare occasion they do bite, their venom is harmless. In fact, seeing one of these bad boys in your house is a blessing in disguise, because if you see a huntsman in your home, I guarantee you won't see any annoying ass flies or mosquitoes.
No.
Because he's eaten them.
No.
You see, he understands he's big enough that he should be paying rent, and so he contributes to the household in pest control.
only an Australian would ever say, yeah, that's fine to have in the house. It's good for No. My house would be on fire, and then I would then burn the ashes of my home if I saw one of these things. Absolutely not. No.
I personally have had one of these bad boys as an 8-legged roommate, and I can tell you they're pretty good company. Ooh. Except for the part where they cause car crashes. Yeah, you see, huntsmen like to hide in tight spaces and cracks, and they do it by flattening out their body to fit into the gap. Now, in the house, that usually means you'll just find them behind a painting, but when you're flying down the highway at 110k an hour and decide to flip down the sun visor because God is trying to flashbang you, yeah, they like to sleep in there and you've just dropped them into your lap.
No!
Now, whatever you do, don't panic or you're going to crash the... Australia lost a war to emus.
I've heard about this, the emu war.
But how? How the
Yeah, I have no idea how.
did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory, and emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences into the fields and started laying waste to the wheat.
Oh my God!
Farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless.
My cat is like purring like a machine in the background. Why are you just, you're just sitting there? Why are you purring so loud? She's just grooming herself. She's sitting like a person, right? She took your seat. She's sitting on her gaming chair, and she's sprawled out like a person, but grooming herself, purring like a damn chainsaw.
This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA. Armed
Why is it specifically an artillery division? Excuse me?
with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and
What?
the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you...
Okay, I'm gonna sound completely ignorant here to Australian history. I really thought that the Emu War was more so a term. I never thought they literally brought munitions and actually were trying to gun them down. Excuse me?
Asked me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
I am speed.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons.
Oh my God.
But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work.
Wait, what the heck is this? This is more slapstick and ridiculous than I ever could have imagined.
Because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket,
Oh,
the
my
emus
goodness.
started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there.
What?
And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage.
What?
Meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every 1 bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960.
Oh.
The population was 20,000. This was an
Oh.
issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, I was gonna say if this was America, I'm pretty sure that they would drop immensely more funds into doing this, no matter how impractical it is. As terrible as that sounds.
So, the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we is this? I could have done
sorry,
a better
that's
job with a
amazing.
boomerang and a cricket. This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton just to lay an egg.
What?
This cute little guy is the kiwi bird, a
It's
species of
adorable,
ratite native to New
I'm sorry. Look at. Oh, I can't look at it now. But like, look at this little guy. He is the cutest little
cute
thing.
little guy is the kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution.
You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary, being a member of
What?
the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the kiwi's bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stats, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing
Yeah, but they're cute, and that's what matters. Cuteness is always the best.
for something useful.
With all of his cousins specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability.
So that leaves the question, what did the kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely nothing. Kiwis are tiny in comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight.
Just look at the baby. I'm sorry. That is the cutest bird ever. I am sorry. That literally is the most adorable thing.
And 50 centimeters tall. This is because kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly works pretty well for them until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits...
I'm sorry. I keep pausing. I know it's supposed to be like funny. This is a funny compilation, but look at the baby. Look at it.
can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs.
Oh no, please don't tell me the thing's eggs are massive. Oh no, the poor
I'm
baby.
talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same...
What? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? I'm sorry. What? Oh. Okay.
size.
A kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a bun in the oven anymore. That's a whole
my
bakery.
God.
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea. Bringing back extinct species. And recently...
Oh, is this about the Tasmanian tiger? Is that what it was called, right?
they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old
No.
direwolf. You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those
what?
are actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is,
Basically a wolf on steroids.
these things were bigger,
I did not know that they did this. I like usually I subscribe to a lot of the articles for scientific journalism, right? And I usually am pretty up to date on a lot of these. I did not know this one.
faster and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
These two little guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care.
However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines.
Baby!
Showing that that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book.
There was, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf.
You see, by merit of them being
Look up the woolly mouse. They made those. I think I've seen the woolly mouse one. I think I've seen the woolly mouse one.
extinct, short of specking into necromancy,
you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the dire wolf.
Right.
So, using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creature.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, everything they're doing with CRISPR, I know it's controversial, but man, is it crazy. It is, like, they're working on being able to completely resolve sickle cell anemia with that. It is crazy what they're doing with CRISPR.
Create.
Oh, also, it's really cheap. This is the scary part about it. It's really cheap and really easy to teach people. Because I actually had a professor who quite literally was explaining this to us, that you could literally just go to a course and learn in certain colleges how to use CRISPR. You guys can fact check me, but like, because that's not my specialty, right? Like, that was not what I went into. But like, the idea that something so incredibly and monumentously is not a word, but so incredibly could change the way the world works is easily accessible scares the hell out of me.
Then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel.
But look at it.
Which is cool as I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are all playing Resident Evil.
Oh, God.
This bear was actually a soldier.
What?
But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran on their way to...
I love how we're going to have a random Polish video mixed in with all the Australia stuff. I'm going to make a thumbnail. It's going to be like, yeah, Australia's terrifying. Polish bear. Polish bear.
The front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said,
"Damn good deal."
And in the most worthwhile trade deal in history, parted ways with their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Wojtek. And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
Maggots!
As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Wojtek.
I'm sorry, I understand how cool this is, but I'm just loving how adorable the idea is of a bear just sticking around with a regiment of soldiers. It's just so cute.
Had to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march.
Oh my God!
While not undergoing rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them.
What?
Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you? On top of double rations, they would also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes.
What?
They let the bear have smoko. Eventually, army hike...
I'm sorry, the Polish gave the bear cigarettes. Did the bear actually use them? How? Huh?
Command heard about this and were having absolutely none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Wojtek had to go.
No.
Or did he? Because the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Wojtek was given a serial number and granted the rank of private. So when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in the race, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek."
It's Private
Wojtek took his new role very seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear. For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This absolute unit smoked, drank,
and dropped artillery on the Nazis. Based.
Oh my god, that...
Australia has just found zombified bugs.
Wait. Let's see if I guess it correctly. Is this cordyceps? I mean, again, I like to play the guessing game and end up being wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. I will say, I thought cordyceps were in Asia. I didn't think that they were in Australia. I shouldn't be surprised. Australia's terrifying, but I thought they were in Asia.
That's right, we are closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you think. You see, just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Broussard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory.
Oh, please tell me it's not something new.
Finding and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to science. I mean, me personally, I think we've found more than enough bugs, especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the f***ing soil. But what do I know, right? Anyway, on his trip to the middle of nowhere, he stumbled across...
They're not supposed to be there, but they... Oh my god.
...across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a little off. You see, the main ant colony was fine. Completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots of grass surrounding the colony like a Bug's Life version of Vlad the Inhaler. Yeah, those were significantly less normal. Broussard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for inspection and upon getting a closer look, realised something both really cool and really spooky. The ants had been overtaken by fungus.
Big old red ones.
More accurately, a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus.
Okay. So I'm gonna assume that it's. I'm gonna pray. that this did not manage to be an invasive type of fungus that managed to get here from Asia. That is terrifying. That it's now in Australia. How on earth? I shouldn't be surprised of it being in Australia, but that is so. Dude, cordyceps freak me out. I know that, like, in Asian medicine, people eat it. Hell, even you might have had it before if you've taken medicine, because there are medications that use cordyceps. But, like, they creeps me the hell out.
Infamous around the globe for its ability to create zombie bugs. And the way it does it is unbelievably horrific. You see, it begins with a spore landing on an ant and producing a thin, rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches to their exoskeleton. At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's body and brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one single goal: climb. Its fungus-riddled mind drags its rapidly deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its final act being to clamp its mandibles onto the stem in a death grip, finally succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed. Its corpse blossoming into a fully grown cordyceps fungus and raining down spores onto the rest of the colony to continue the cycle of infection.
I hate it.
Now look, I know this fungus is found elsewhere in the world, but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia. With my luck, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us against couch-sized spiders within the fucking week.
Yeah, worse.
Who wins? 100 men or one gorilla? Well, to get your answer, we're going to have to look at our fighters for the most anticipated cage match of 2025. And in the red corner, standing at an impressive 6 feet tall and weighing a
Look at that Giga Chad. Just look at him. He's just a little guy.
ridiculous 220 kilos, we have one singular silverback gorilla. Stepping into the ring to settle the score against humanity for what we did to Harambe, this fighter is bringing some impressive physical strength, capable of lifting up to 800 kilos of weight, meaning...
I knew gorillas were strong. I didn't ever even consider what they could bench. Like, that's insane. That is an insane number to process.
That if it gets its hands on you, a gorilla is more than capable of picking you up and doing you the same way that Hulk did Loki. Now, on top of being stronger than Eddie Hall, they also have an unreal reach advantage with a 2.6 meter wingspan. which is a fairly major problem because a right hook from a gorilla produces 2,700 pounds of force.
Okay, so in the real question of whether or not 100 humans or a gorilla is gonna win, you would think almost by default that 100 people would win because realistically they should. But if you're putting standards of saying that those people can't use tools and they're just your typical average person, and it's like it rolls the dice of what like typical RNG would be for this, right? So it's going to be half women, half men. So, or is it 100 men? So I guess you have 100. You have 100 men, roughly 150 pounds, 5'10", and they are going to go in and start fist fighting the gorilla. I don't know, because a lot of those people are going to be taken out in 1 or 2 hits. So I would lean towards people winning, but I really wouldn't put it past something that can punch you with 2,700 pounds of force.
To put that into perspective, the human skull shatters at 1,400. So if Winston hits you with a haymaker, your head is going to pop like a fucking watermelon. And with the cage fight following the Mortal Kombat rule set, we can also factor in the gorilla's bite. Because despite being a pretty gentle herbivore in the wild, they have one of the highest bite forces on the planet.
That is insane.
At 1,300 PSI. That is 100 PSI more than a polar bear. And now, with our fighter statistics out of the way, let's get down to business. Can our gorilla win a fight against the 100 average men in the blue corner? Place your bets. Let's see who comes out on top. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. Even with those stats, Winston here is getting bodied. I'm sorry, he's going back to the spawn room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 directly. They're hanging out with Harambe in heaven. 100 people.
Okay, yeah, no, that's the best way to describe it, to be fair. The first 15 people are screwed, and then this gets overwhelmed. That's fair. That's fair.
It's just too fucking many. He's getting jumped. However, not to say he's not going to take a few with him. My guess is one guy runs up and gets swatted across the cage like a toddler, shatters his ribs against the bars. Second guy gets grabbed by the leg and given the Hulk treatment. About 6 other guys cop swings to the head and die instantly from broken necks. One dumbass is probably going to try to hit him off the top rope and get done the same way that Omni-Man did Nightwing. But at that point, the crowd probably jumps in and realizes that there are still about 90 of them, 1v10. And it's over. Not that the fight even needs to happen, but it wouldn't be the first time we lost a gorilla to human stupidity. This is the deadliest snake in the world. Introducing the inland taipan, and being the deadliest venom noodle in the world, I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found.
Yep, yeah, we saw this one.
It's Australia. Of course, it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically, as the name suggests, the taipan is found inland in the outback. Luckily, extremely far from civilization, because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter.
But he's
because
cute.
Despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters, the taipan is here to show you that you absolutely
Can I just appreciate the fact that like the biggest truck of all time decided to just drive by during that quiet moment, and it just never seemed to stop making that sound? I don't know if it's gonna pick up on the audio, but like, what the heck?
Feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet.
Yeah, so this is the, let's see if I remember let's see if I remember the lesson from when we saw this the other day. It is enough to kill I don't know how many people. Was it like 10 men or something ridiculous? But they use it on the little shrews. They use it on the little babies,
venom
little
is
mice.
A pina colada of pain, containing but not limited to hemotoxins to cause blood clots, myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin.
I will
Needless
die.
to say, if
I will die on this hill.
Get a headache.
I will die on this hill. Everything on that continent has neurotoxin. I wouldn't be surprised if those cordyceps have neurotoxin.
Vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes. And that venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that to 100 people. But the funniest part of this snake's venom is that in the wild, they only hunt rats and f***ing mice.
Yep.
The deadliest venom on the planet, and they are using it to pack up Remy the rat.
It's like
hunting
10,000
a rabbit
mice.
Oh,
with a f***ing AWP.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Dolphins get drunk.
What?
But why? Well, you see, the dolphin is by far and away the smartest animal in the ocean. In fact, they're actually
Wait.
the second smartest.
Wait. Isn't the smartest animal in the ocean actually the octopus? I know that dolphins are intelligent, but I thought that they said like the IQ of an octopus is actually higher. I could be totally wrong, considering that these are mammals, they're highly intelligent mammals and everything like that. But I thought the octopus was higher.
Just behind you and me. This means they are smart enough to understand that the ideal
the
way
orcas,
to spend your
right?
night is more plastered than Chad and Max on your average Cold Ones episode. Shut up! There is just one problem. Last I checked, there's no bottle O in Bikini Bottom. So how does a dolphin get...
The dolphins are near you. Well, I know that the dolphins are intelligent, but I thought that orcas were also more intelligent than dolphins. Because like orcas have like trends that they'll do, right? Because I remember they were like ramming into boats, and it would be something that all of them would start doing then because they think it's funny because they get bored. They also were doing like the weird little seaweed hat that some of them were doing. No, octopi just have hands. You know what? Let's do fact checking because I don't want to just sound like an idiot for the sake of sounding like an idiot. All right, let's look up dolphin IQ. All right, dolphin IQ. The dolphin IQ is roughly between 40 to 50. And the octopus IQ is, they can't be given an IQ. Okay. Because their intelligence is so different from ours, it cannot be scored with our level of intelligence understanding. Okay. Because we do know that they're highly intelligent. But they say that typically, because like there's other things that people will say that they have like the IQ of an average 3-year-old, but you know, it's all subjective. I find it interesting. I find it pretty interesting. All right, back to the thing. Sorry for the serious, not funny part.
Fight for all. Simple. They abuse pufferfish.
What?
You see, due to the lack of underwater alcohol, dolphins need to find other ways to get their fix, which is where SpongeBob's driving instructor comes in. You see, pufferfish contain this really cool and totally not dangerous substance called tetrodotoxin. What is tetrodotoxin?
Me.
You know, it's only one of the most potent natural neurotoxins on the fucking planet. This shit will freeze your heart and lungs in under an hour with a tiny dose.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why cooking a pufferfish requires a dexterity check so you don't, hit the poison gland and get yourself deleted. Now, puffers carry this as a defense mechanism as poison accumulates in their organs and skin. Why is that important?
They're so cute.
Well, you see, I kind of lied. Dolphins don't get drunk. They get high on neurotoxin.
Oh.
¿Quieres?
Pods of dolphins will bully pufferfish until they inflate, then partake in a literal puff pass. By lightly squeezing the puffer in their mouth, they receive a small dose of neurotoxin, which has a narcotic effect, allowing Flipper here to trip balls before passing the unhappy basketball onto the next submarine stoner. Flipper and friends saw the deadliest neurotoxin on the planet and said, "Fuck it, let me try some of that." This isn't a spider. It's a snake. Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper. As the name suggests, native to Iran, and you are all probably wondering why the f*** this snake has decided to attach a cosplay of the average Australian
how do you make
resident
this
to
worse?
his tail.
It's like, how can you possibly
The answer
make these scenarios
is
worse?
Food. You see, every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy, and the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC. However, birds famously tend to fly, and last I checked, note ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper get his zinger box? The answer is, again, food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So, rather than
It uses its tail as a oh my god. Oh my god.
trying to chase his prey down.
Evolution.
this
I hate
racing
evolution
has
sometimes,
evolved
man.
the
What the hell?
evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash. You see, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on like a couch. And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face.
It's so
perfectly
believable.
The motion of an insect. Think of this as him placing his Uber Eats order. Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when, holy shit, a free meal. What a delectable bug just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down to grab himself an insect Happy Meal. And just as he's about to reach his meal, this spider can remove your limbs.
What?
But how? Introducing the brown recluse, native to the United States of America.
Yeah, this is one of ours. This thing is horrible. I can't stand these things. I ended up getting a spider bite, right? And it was like not even like a real bite. We didn't know what it was. And I still don't know to this day if it was a brown recluse, because it's not always gonna kill you, but right, it's necrosis it causes. But I had a bite, and this was, let me think, 10 years ago. And I went and I did not even feel it. And the next day, it looked like I had a snake bite in my hand. Not literally a snake bite. But it was two little holes, and my entire hand was swollen. And it was disgusting. And thankfully it was taken care of. Right, it was taken care of. It healed and everything. Right, so it didn't leave any dangerous long-term, not dangerous, but any long-term gross wounds. You guys see my hands on camera all the time, but it did. If you look carefully at my hand, I'll show it on camera next time when I stream on Twitch. I have two little tiny scars. From this crap over a decade ago. It was over a decade ago, and I still have the little teeth marks. And I say this with the uneducated guess that it was a brown recluse, because there's not too many spiders in New York City that can do that. There's not too many spiders that can do that.
And a prime example of don't judge a book by its cover. Because despite only coming in at a huge 2 centimeters in length and rocking the spider equivalent of default character customization, this little f***er is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money. You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible, with you accidentally stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to exercise his Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass. Now, that initial bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well.
Yup.
There is just one small problem. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing through your veins, which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick. The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red. Over the next few days, that color shifts from red to purple to black, as the venom
it's really nasty.
Destroys and kills the surrounding tissue in a process called necrosis.
This
causes the skin to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread. If you're lucky, it'll only make you violently ill and leave permanent scarring. If you're unlucky, it just keeps spreading, and venom starts to destroy your blood cells and shut your organs.
This is why I am such a spaz, and the second I had a spider bite, I'm like, doctor, let's go to the doctors.
Down. Now, there's kind of only one solution to that, but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
Yeah, no.
Australia has a straight-up Pokemon. Introducing the brush-tail possum.
It's a
More
baby!
specifically, the golden brush-tail possum. Native to the land down under and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven.
What?
You see, the brush-tail is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian possum.
They're all
which,
babies.
Despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum.
Okay. Hot take here. The red-blooded American opossum is really cute. Maybe I'm being weird. Maybe I'm weird. When I worked in the veterinary practice, we had a couple come in. I always thought they were cute as hell. Like, not when they're screaming at you, but they're very cute. They're babies.
These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and to our protagonist here, the golden brushtail, which is really just a common brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin.
Okay.
So, basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting of a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided-out cousin the kangaroo. However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You see, they aren't entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette. Roadkill?
To be fair, the American gray squirrel does that too. Like, people think that the gray squirrels are not that they're, you know, they just want acorns and stuff. They will murder baby birds, not just the eggs. They will murder the baby birds.
Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me.
And just because it's not a venomous predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the tall grass out here, you hear this absolute fucking demon.
I'm sorry, what?
Fucking demon.
No. I think we're good now. I think that we have watched enough Australia for the day.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has a tiger. Well,
the Tasmanian tiger. Okay, we talked about this before.
Thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger.
Look at it!
Yes, native to my home state of Tasmania. This tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Well, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet.
I didn't know they were marsupials. What? Dude, what is it? Dude, Australia just adds that little pizzazz and spice of obscurity to anything that exists. How? How is it that you guys managed to make it everything, like, everything ends up being a little bit quirkier? It blows my mind. It legitimately blows my mind. All right. Sorry.
Despite the kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are
yeah, I know they're
and everything else with a pouch that eat.
Well, I know they're extinct, but they were also didn't they say they were trying to work on bringing this one back?
Its meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed.
Of course they are.
On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby.
Oh!
Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white.
Yeah.
That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one.
Aww.
Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits,
Not saying anything.
did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plan. It's free real estate. The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it.
You got a license for that?
Bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one. For 70 fucking years. Until September 7th, 1936. When the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually, I am a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny. Australia just found a new record-breaking insect.
Of course they did.
Before I show him to you, how the fuck do we keep finding new bugs? You see, Australia is home to an estimated 200,000 species of insect, which is pretty damn impressive, especially when you consider the only place you're going to find more bugs than that is by counting the fucking roach population in Asmongold's walls. Now, the scary part is that out of that 200k, we've only actually identified 62,000, meaning that we have no idea what nearly 3/4 of the bugs in the country actually fucking do.
You like jazz?
That is actually a horrifying concept. Imagine 3 out of 4 things being completely unknown.
So it should come as no surprise that while exploring Australia's dense rainforests, 2 scientists discovered a new record holder for the largest insect in the land down under, and it's a fucking stick bug. Introducing Acrophila.
Oh, I hate it. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I coward. I know I like insects. I think they're interesting. I really do. But oh my god, big insects give me the heebie-jeebies. Introducing that is, if that flew at me, I would be crying in the fetal position. Like that is terrifying. That is such a nope if I've ever seen one.
Acrophila alta, and coming in at a full 40 centimeters and 44 grams in weight.
No.
I don't think that qualifies as a stick insect anymore. That's fucking Groot.
Yeah, no.
Australia's very own Erd tree avatar was discovered in Queensland. Because of course it fucking was. And despite being enough inches in length to make any man jealous, it's actually completely harmless. However, given how many oversized bugs we already have, if we find any more, I think they're gonna send the fucking Helldivers.
Seriously?
This is the world's biggest spider.
It's cute,
But why the fuck is it that big? Introducing Theraphosa blondie, a tarantula surprisingly not native to Australia for once. It's found on the other tyrannid hive continent, South America. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, this thing is fucking huge. Coming in at a frightening 175 grams in weight and 12 inches in leg span.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
And those legs are not the only place it's packing inches, because Shelob's cousin here is packing fangs that measure a huge inch.
Can I just say, okay, aside from being traumatized from that, can we just also point out the little butt fangs? Like, do you guys see the little butt fangs? I can't not see them. There's just little angry little butt fangs in the back.
That measure a huge inch in length.
Oh
the scale,
my god.
That is like a 6-foot human packing canines the length of a fucking ruler.
Oh,
but
no thank you.
The important question, why the fuck is it so big?
Yeah, so this is the bird-eating spider, right?
Is that I have withheld information from you. You see, I introduced this girl by a Latin name. She's much better known as the Goliath bird eater.
Yeah, okay. The only reason I even know this thing exists is from, like, the wild thornberries, like, what, like 20 years ago?
tarantula. That's right, this EDF-sized spider, not unlike me, would fucking kill for some KFC. Literally. These bile titans will quite happily hunt birds, Remy, frogs, and even lizard. And they do all of this without a fucking web. Yeah, Goliaths are a pure melee build, hunting by prowling the jungle floor, sensing for movement with incredibly sensitive hairs on their legs.
This is like
These
true
hairs
arachnophobia
pick up
right here.
vibrations in the air, which tell them when something is close. And once their spidey sense tells them that Remy's in range, they
little
fucking
baby.
jump him, biting him with those daggers they call fangs, and injecting him with fucking neurotoxin.
Every time, every single thing on this continent, this is not even on Australia, but everything on this that Mort covers is just full of neurotoxin. It's always neurotoxin. Sorry. Anyway, and hi MG, how are you? Thank you very much.
Can I go 1 week without covering neurotoxin?
Please!
Of course this thing has it too. I give up. They then drag their prey back to their burrow and
look at the baby!
spit up acidic digestive juices in order to suck their prey up through a fucking straw. This spider hunts with jump scares. But how? Introducing the trapdoor spider, a family of arachnid containing hundreds of species found in every continent on the globe.
Yay.
Meaning, yes, for once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd never know.
Hello.
Now, trapdoor spiders are particularly interesting compared to other spiders due to their hunting method.
Yeah, define
You see,
interesting
normal
here.
spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate art piece for a fly to clothesline itself on. And tarantulas just jump But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow will then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan. Hell, they basically...
It lives for 2 decades. It lives for 2 freaking decades. Wow. Decades. What? What? No.
never leave the thing like some neckbeard living in his mum's basement. But they've still got to eat, and since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food. You see, they use their silk to craft a trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just bolt a bunch of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor.
Jeez.
After finishing their construction project, they will spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as tripwires, feeding information back to their neckbeard.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Evolutionarily, or I guess evolutionarily is not really a word, but you know what I mean. Like, as far as like an evolutionary advantage, that's incredibly well designed. It's really cool. If it wasn't for the fact that spiders are so freaking creepy, like, it is really cool. It really
steps
is.
on it. And when some unfortunate insect steps a little too close...
Money!
This bird is a vampire.
What? It's so cute though.
Introducing the
It's a little guy.
vampire groundfinch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example...
Okay, I will always say this. When it comes to the finches, right? So a lot of people know about the whole finch thing because of Darwin, but the evolution of the finches is so damn interesting because every single one of them has evolved so drastically different from one another. I'm not even surprised that there's one that's a vampire. I'm not even surprised.
Of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly
so cute.
12 centimeters.
It's very
and
cute.
a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
How dare.
Skin of a killer bell.
So if it's missing fangs, angst, a cape, and the funny accent,
You must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and small islands means a far smaller amount of...
I'm surprised. I actually thought that most of the finches were kind of localized to singular islands, which is why they were so drastic. But I mean, I guess being at 2 is not too much of a difference, but I am surprised that it's not just on 1.
that food to go around, to the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source, which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, you know, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit. So, how do they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh, is the Nazca booby. Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies, stop giggling, come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers.
That is
Once the blood
crazy.
is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Oh my god!
I can't say that shit without crap.
That is grim.
A lot of people are scared of snakes.
No, they're
but
cute.
have you ever
Look at
wondered
the little
what
noodle.
snakes are scared of? The answer is this fucking bird. Introducing the secretary bird, native to the continent of Africa, and
okay,
a
I love
prime
this
example
thing
that
so much,
being
though.
a hater pays off. Coming in...
The only reason I even know what this thing is because of Agritsuko, right? And because like on Twitch I get called secretary a fair bit. Like I love this thing. It is so cute. It's so cute.
1.3 meters tall and 4.27 kilos in weight, this lanky turkey has been purpose-built, nay, expertly fucking engineered by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever-loving out of any garden hose that so much as looks at it the wrong
Holy
way.
crap!
You
Venom
see,
hose
these bad
violated!
boys are
No!
birds of prey, but unlike their cousins in the same category, they are primarily terrestrial, which means they spend most of their time on the ground. This is because their preference for diet is sentient slithering sausages.
I love
However,
it.
with this thing being endemic to Africa, their preferred meal also just happens to include some of
I'm sorry, I have to read that out loud. Jurassic Tweety in yoga pants. Thank you for that.
the deadliest predators on the fucking planet. Does this stop the secretary bird?
No.
No, mate. Despite having no natural venom resistance, these absolute fucking gigachads will eat cobras, boomslangs, and black mambas without breaking a sweat. But how do they hunt these things without getting bitten? Simple. They just kick the fuck out of them. You see, those long-ass legs aren't just for show, as a secretary bird is capable of accurately curb-stomping a snake's head into the ground with a force equal to 5 times their fucking body weight.
Oh my
So when
god!
the secretary bird fancies a bite to eat, they start out by stomping the ground around dense vegetation. This causes snakes in the area to poke their heads out of their houses to
This is
see what the
crazy.
fuck is going on. The snake then looks up in horror as the secretary bird locks onto him, sprints over at Mach 9, and then...
1A! 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 1A!
Nah, this is legitimately, if you ever played Tekken before, this is Eddie Gordo. This is just spam 3. You spam 3 to get the hit stun. After the hit stun, you hit 3 again to follow up with another hit stun. After that, you follow up with another kick by pressing 3. Follow up with the 3, discombobulate.
This bird
It's
is
cute.
a serial killer.
No, it's so cute
You're the
though.
Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the Shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself, how could this sweet little guy be a vicious killer?
Exactly.
I mean, he's so tiny.
Look at him.
They only grow up to around 30 centimetres and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear, look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle.
Okay.
Listen to the thing. It sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard a fly.
Exactly.
But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me a fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are.
The Dexter
Because
reference, I
shrikes
can't.
actually have another name. They're called fucking butcher birds.
What?
Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. You see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the they want. Insects, mice, me, even lizard. And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it.
Okay.
Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord.
What?
But converting their prey into a vegetable isn't enough. No. These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence. And once they get home, they fucking impale them.
They will then leave that corpse there for days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs.
Oh my god.
This crab is a boxer.
What's your name?
Agree.
That's right, stepping into the ring at 0.15 grams and a huge 2.5 centimeters in length, it's the boxer crab.
He's cute though.
You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves,
Just beat you up.
the boxer crab has instead elected to spec into CQC and throw fucking hands. And despite their completely average and not at all small size, this fucker fights in the heavyweight division, able to punch out hundreds of times its size. But
What?
how does nature's Little Mac win the fights? Well, that's pretty simple. He fucking cheats. You see?
Oh my god. Are those like little anemones that he has on? Oh my god. It's gonna be neurotoxin. It's gonna be neurotoxin. I can't. It's gonna be fucking neurotoxin. The Cave and Shrike might be the captain of the Raven Guard, but Shrikes themselves are pure Night Lords in spirit. I love my tiny killers. Oh my god, thank you, Synth.
Those little pom-poms aren't a fashion choice. Those are both sea anemones
Anemones.
that the boxer crab holds in its claws to use as basically fucking brass knuckles. Now, they get these anemones by finding other boxer crabs who have them, jumping them, and then claiming them like they are a fucking WWE title belt.
What the
Now,
hell?
If you weren't aware, anemones are venomous plant-like
What?
animals that, in order not to get eaten, sting the shit out of anything that touches them. Boxer crabs are immune to that sting, but you bet your ass that everything that tries to eat the boxer crab isn't. So, the crab and the anemone enter into a symbiotic relationship, essentially becoming an aquatic venom, with the anemone getting some of the crab's food and the crab gaining venomous brass knuckles. So, whenever a predator gets in the ring with Crab Tyson here, he'll wait for it to get just within striking range, and then... Mr. Squidward!
This is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Scientists just discovered a new fish.
Of course they did.
Looks fucking ridiculous.
Aw, it's kind of cute.
This is the bumpy snailfish, a freshly discovered species found
him.
off the coast of California.
It's not even Australian.
What makes this absolute specimen stick out is that it's a deep sea fish, found at a depth of 3 kilometers.
Oh.
And I am here to tell you exactly why. Because once God finished...
Okay, so one thing when it comes to the deep sea stuff, right? It's really interesting because there's 2 different things, and I'm sure people in the comments when I make this a video will chime in a bit about this. There's 2 separate things that happen in the deep sea that are a little bit confusing. There's deep sea dwarfism and deep sea gigantism, and it's kind of interesting to see that both things can happen at the not with the same creatures, but simultaneously in the same environment. It's really, really fascinating.
building this thing, he took a step back, looked at it, realized exactly how fucking chopped it was, and punted that thing into the depths of the ocean where no one would ever see it again.
Be free!
However, thanks to the hubris of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
Look at the top of his head.
What's wrong with him?
I mean, fucking look at it.
He's
It
just
is
a little guy.
profoundly unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes.
No, he's empty. He's just cute.
Not to mention the fit on it. It looks like an aquatic, uncooked turkey with a fucking smiley face drawn on it. Coming in at a solid
So mean.
3 inches in length, Bumpy here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However, unlike his cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these should be a sack. However, despite the fact that he looks like a sperm cell with a receding hairline, I love him.
Yeah, it's so
He's so
mean.
cute.
He's
Look
so
at that
cute.
smile. That shit reminds me of Sackboy on the PS3. I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
You know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little f***ed up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
I can't. Oh god, and it ends with a screech. Oh god. Oh god, it went back to the start of the video where we left off last time. Oh my god. Oh, that was something. That was oh god, I have to remind. You know what? Just for you guys, and we'll end the video section for YouTube later with this part. I'll let you guys get to enjoy the sound of the Pokemon one more time.
You hear this absolute fucking demon?
Yep.
Australia has dancing spiders. Allow me to
Starting off
introduce
strong.
you to the land down under's most fabulous array.
Did that say it has 7,000 spiders in Australia? Australia has 7,000 spiders. I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm somehow surprised. But yes, Queen Slay.
Arachnid, the peacock spider. Now, this 8-legged
It's
pride
cute.
flag is not remotely
It's
dangerous
cute.
to humans.
It's so
Got
cute.
full venom, tiny fangs.
Also, is this too loud? It feels like it's a little bit too loud. I'm gonna lower it a tiny bit. But it's so cute. It's so cute. I didn't think I'd be saying this about a spider. It's so cute.
And as far as size goes, they're the spider equivalent of a fucking gnome. What makes these little guys interesting is their love lives. You see, not unlike normal peacocks, it's only the males of the species that are running the RGB gamer lights.
Wait, did you say unlike peacocks? I was gonna say that's what peacocks do. It's the males.
But why are they built like a Razer laptop? Well, because spiders can't just post up with a dead fly on Tinder and start swiping. No, the boys here have to attract the lady the old-fashioned way. Shake an ass. You see, in order to find
I
them,
mean,
mate, peacock spiders head
fair.
out to the club and find a lady
Let me lower it a little bit more. Yeah, I was gonna say more is very loud this time around.
across the dance floor. They then lock eyes with her, and as the song changes, they raise that coloured dump truck to the sky.
It's so cute.
Start playing Dance Dance F***ing Revolution, baby. Now, as he dances, the
Sorry, it's just
female
really cute. I
spider
actually like this one a
watches
lot.
very closely. Not only paying attention to the movements of the dance, but also the fucking vibrations. And if our protagonist here can nail Osu Valentine's edition
Oh my goodness.
just right, the female spider will slowly approach, lean in for a kiss, and... But, here's the thing. If he fucks up the dance, he fails the charisma check.
Okay.
And if he fucks the charisma check, he's no longer boyfriend material.
Okay.
He's a fucking Happy Meal.
What?
Australia just found a new insect.
Who's that Pokemon?
Oh.
And in a certified Australia moment, it is unironically called the fucking Lucifer bee.
Sorry, I'm distracted by my cat. But also, why? Why is it called the Lucifer? Oh my god, why is it called the Lucifer bee? What? Dawn, what do you want? Dawn. Dawn. Come on, stop. Dawn, please. I'm trying to record. I know you're a sweet little kitten. So you guys heard Shortcake in the last video. Now I have Dawn over here. She's the new baby kitten. She's only 4 months old, and she's the cutest little thing in the world. She is she's a tortie Maine Coon, and she is so adorable, and she has no fear, and she will literally attack anything that moves. She is so cute. All right, anyway, let's go back to the Lucifer bee.
Because of course we have the Satan bee. The snakes and the spiders and the f***ing dinosaurs weren't enough. No. Now I gotta dodge a rejected doom enemy on my walk to work. Discovered
how
in
bad
the
is it?
closest climate to hell on Earth, Western Australia, these bad boys were named after the Lord of Hell for 2 reasons.
Oh god.
The first of which being the giant fucking demon horns bolted to their heads.
Why?
Now, those horns aren't just there to look scary. They're actually a defensive mechanism
What?
to protect the demon bees from bigger predators. However, only the ladies of the species stay strapped, as the horns are only found on females. Meaning a more accurate name for these absolute girl bosses is the Karlak bee. But a pair of spirit Halloween horns can't be the only reason they're named after the devil, right?
Oh god.
I mean, there's gotta be f***ing something else. Like, do they spit fire? Maybe they've got a pitchfork for a stinger
I mean,
that
that's pretty
injects
funny.
you with f***ing acid
Neurotoxin?
venom. The answer to that is, no. It's a normal f***ing honeybee.
Oh.
The actual reason is that lead researcher, Dr. Kit Prendergast, was watching the f***ing Netflix show. And this isn't even the first time she's done something like this. She named another species after her pet dog. F***ing based.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, she's based. That's amazing.
That isn't a tree.
Huh?
It's a f***ing bird. Introducing the tawny frogmouth.
It is the cutest thing ever. Please tell me that it doesn't kill people. I love it. It's adorable. I want one as a pet.
A species of bird found in the land down under,
It's so
and
cute.
Australia's very own avian equivalent of a maxed out Skyrim stealth build.
It's so cute.
Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, it can't be that stealthy. I can see it. Yeah, you can. You can see that one. Did you see the one right f***ing next to it? Now, the important question is,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sound really dumb. I saw the bottom one. I didn't see the top one. I actually didn't see the top one. I only saw the one below it.
you can see it. Yeah, you can. You can see that one.
Oh my god.
Did you see the one right f***ing next to it? Now, the important question is, why the f*** do these things have predator camo? Well,
I love
there's
it so
two
much.
reasons. First of all being,
Australia.
it's f***ing Australia. See, these bad boys are primarily nocturnal,
Look at it, though,
staying
it's
on the move
so
during the
cute.
night and dive bombing unaware insects to meet their bulking goals. However, that means that during the day, they sleep. And in a country where at any point you can be bitten, mauled, stung, or fucking drop-kicked to death, laying down in the wrong spot can turn a short nap into the forever sleep.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
in order to prevent themselves from becoming an item on a snake's KFC order...
I'm sorry, I need to back up again just to look at this picture.
So,
Wait.
in order to prevent themselves from becoming an
Wait.
item on a snake's KFC...
Look at this little judging face. Look at this little fat little ball of feathers just stare at you and judge you. It knows what you're gooning to. Look at him. He is the cutest little thing ever. He is the cutest little guy ever.
FC order, these tactical chickens evolved the ghillie suit to basically allow them to f***ing disappear. Being practically invisible allows them to unlock their second passive, f***ing DoorDash.
What?
You see, these
Oh, they
guys
bait
are
the food.
so f***ing good at cosplaying a stick that not only do predators mistake them for Groot,
Tell me they walk on
but
them.
so does their prey. And so, whenever they take a nap, they just leave their mouths open a little bit. And whenever some
That's brilliant.
ant just tries to walk his way to work, he instead DoorDashes himself directly into its fucking mouth.
I love it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, out of all the videos I have watched now of Australian animals, that thing is the cutest little guy ever. I love him. He is number one. He is number one. I love him.
I want you to imagine you're cave diving. You turn a corner and see a spider web the size of the fucking wall.
I was gonna say I've done actual cave diving, but you don't usually see spiders underwater. I think he means like cave exploring or not spelunking, but like the Nutty Putty cave thing, right? That's what that was a reference to. I was gonna say because I'm like I'll give you guys more scuba diving stories and you know and tell you some of the cave diving I've done. But if it's about this, it doesn't really it's not really related.
I regret to inform you that no, this is not fake.
Wait,
this is an actual photo from the inside of a cave on the Greek-Albanian border, where scientists
Oh, thank God it's not Australia. But what?
have discovered the world's largest spider web, located in a portion of the cave crammed to the brim with sulfur, that has quite literally never seen the light of God. This wall of white sticky stuff spans...
I mean, there is just what you're saying in chat. The spiders dive. Yeah, some spiders dive. There's a spider that actually puts a little air bubble around its head when it goes underwater. I think it's called the diver spider. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me. But they put a little air bubble around their head and they can actually go down for a little bit. But what the hell am I looking at? Oh my God.
1,100 square fucking feet. That is the size of a two-bedroom
Set it on fire. Please,
house.
set it on
However,
fire.
Finding the average Australian home on the wall of a cave at Y11 brings up a far scarier question. What the fuck built it?
Yeah.
Well, to the relief of many, no, we did not discover a giant spider lair. Nor is this the result of a single spider with creative mode and world edit. No, it's far fucking worse.
Oh?
Because this web is the arachnid equivalent of getting the boys on for a 2-week Minecraft phase.
Huh?
Because this web is a collaborative effort.
Why?
It was built by 111,000 fucking spiders.
What? Ah!
This pond is hiding some...
The push-in at the end. Oh my God, I got goosebumps. Oh no, no. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I already know what this one's gonna be. This one's not an Australian one either. This is about the spiders in the cranberry bogs. I could just tell by looking at it. Ah. Why is there so many spiders? Oh my God, it's literally the song. What's with all the spiders gouging things and eating their insides? Oh, I hate it.
something scary. No, not that. It's worse. You see, these are cranberries, a small red fruit used in juice, sauces, and even alcohol. However, unlike many fruits which grow in luscious green fields, cranberries grow in a fucking swamp. However, sharing a postcode with Shrek
doesn't exempt cranberries from pest control issues. But rather than dumping enough toxic chemicals on the cranberry bog to qualify it as a League of Legends lobby, cranberry farmers decided to use a more interesting form of pest control. Fucking wolf spiders.
So to be fair, from what I have understood about this, because I've heard about this one before, right? I have heard that this is kind of unintentional misinformation, because as far as I know, and I've heard it from cranberry bog farmers, that they don't use wolf spiders. Like, wolf spiders will get in, but they don't pump wolf spiders into the bogs, right? At least when they were like trying to fact check this. So it's not inherently true from what I understand.
That's right. In order to prevent a horde of bugs from devouring these innocent cranberries, our brave hell spiders are deployed to the field to protect against the horde. Which works great. Until they flood the fields to harvest the cranberries, at which point
I've seen the handfuls, though. It's
venomous
scary.
wolf spiders start to look for the closest high point. And if you're picking the berries, that's you. This shrimp has...
Oh, God. Yeah, so if you ever want to traumatize yourself, though, you can actually look up, like, videos for it, and, like, they'll stick their hands in, like, somebody will stick their hands in the cranberry bog, right? And you'll just see tons of wolf spiders crawling around. It is hellspawn. It is awful.
It's a gun. No, this isn't a Fortnite skin. This is a real f***ing animal, and it's called the pistol shrimp. Now,
Love that.
unsurprisingly, being named after a firearm, of course it's f***ing native to the United States of America.
That's ours. It's
You're
ours.
gonna find it. However, they can actually be found expressing their Second Amendment rights over the majority of the globe too. Now, coming in at a huge 2 inches, it is not the size of his...
Look at that arm. His one-arm game is strong. You could tell he's a lefty.
His body that makes him special, but the caliber of the big iron on his hip. Or should I say big claw?
It's Claude, sir. Oh.
You see, that oversized
It's
right
Claude, sir, from
pincher
Pokemon.
isn't just because he forgot to, switch hands while doing homework.
He had the same thought. I had the same thought. Oh my god.
No, mate, that claw is basically fucking Mega Man's arm cannon. But last I checked, they can't call in an ammo resupply under the sea. So how does the claw become a gun? The answer is Bubble.
Yay, Bubbles.
You see, these bad boys hunt smaller shrimp, and they start that hunt by jumping off the f***ing battle bus and looking for prey. Once they get within effective range, they will literally cock their claw
Wait,
like
what?
the hammer on
Wait. They actually do? Wait.
effective range. They will literally cock their
The physical mechanic of doing that is actually wild. That is wild.
claw like the hammer on a revolver. Weapon ready, they line up the shot, take aim, and
That's amazing.
they
Amazing.
snap their claws together so fucking fast.
You know when there's animals that you've heard of, but you've never actually like watched them or learned them in depth because there's only so many you can learn at a time. Like I've heard of a pistol shrimp. I've never watched how its body works, and I've never watched it hunt. It's really fascinating.
It causes an underwater vacuum, creating an explosive cavitation bubble hotter than the surface of the sun. You literally have the mantis shrimp that rolled berserker build, and you have this guy who ended up pulling the sniper build. What the hell? How many crustaceans literally have cavitation bubbles? Like, how many crustaceans can do this? Like, I didn't even know that they both could. This bubble is then launched at the enemy at over 100k an hour. The bubble then connects with the smaller shrimp and f***ing flashbangs it.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
This either kills it outright or stuns it long enough to be consumed.
poor little fucker got quick-scoped by Fey shrimp. Aussie farmers thought they were being attacked by aliens.
Oh?
But what was actually causing it is so much funnier. This is a wallaby.
Look
The kangaroo's vertically challenged.
It's Rocco! It's Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life! Yeah, I just probably aged like half my audience right there. I just felt your gray hairs, you know, just start growing out. But it's
is
Rocco!
so much funnier. This is a wallaby. The kangaroo's vertically challenged little cousin.
I love him. I
Now,
love him.
to get a little more specific, this is a Bennett's wallaby, native to my home state of Tasmania.
I love
And that location
Did you
is
say it's Australian
very
Alabama?
important to the story. Tassie is home to a lot of things. Beautiful views, a seal with a felony record,
That was beautiful, though.
and
Wow.
the nut. However, one thing they tend to leave off the tourism brochures is drugs.
What?
Tasmania is the world's largest exporter of illegal opium. The main ingredient in opioid painkillers like morphine.
Okay.
With this one tiny island producing 50% of global supply.
What? I didn't realize it was so localized. What the heck?
Now, opium comes from poppy milk. And to get poppy milk, you need to milk poppies.
Isn't like Afghanistan one of the... I thought Afghanistan was like the biggest opium exporter. I'm actually really surprised it's Tasmania. I'm really surprised it's Tasmania.
And to produce that 50% of global supply,
Jesse, we need to
Tasmanian
grow.
farmers grow huge fields of these things across the north of the state. However, because throwing these flowers into a crafting table gives you f***ing narcotics, these
The wallaby
fields
eats it,
are
doesn't it?
legally required to be under extremely tight security. Which is why these same poppy farmers became extremely confused when f***ing crop circles showed up in the plant equivalent of a f***ing Town Hall 9 Clash of Clans fight. They were understandably absolutely f***ing bewildered by
Understandably
it. And some
so,
people
yeah.
even thought it was aliens. So to figure out whether or not it was a Halo Elite drawing this shit,
Oh, it's amazing.
they set up some cameras. And what they saw was this little shit breaking into the field, eating the milk-filled buds, getting absolutely f***eyed, and then hopping in circles until he passed the f***. They thought the f***ing Covenant were invading, and it was a drink-driving wallaby.
Look at him. He's just a little guy. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. Oh my god. I think that might be the last one. No, it's
Australia
not.
just found a new shark. And
What?
Of course, being from the land down under, it's fucking weird. Introducing the brand new Western Australian lantern.
It's a shriveled scrotum. It's scrotes my goats. What am I looking at? Oh my god.
Shark. As the name suggests, discovered by a team of scientists off the coast of Western Australia. Now, as with the overwhelming majority of weird shit in the ocean, the Ozempic shark here is found in the deep sea, sharing a postcode with the
So it's
anglerfish.
okay. So it's deep sea dwarfism. You know, there's another shark that has the opposite one, right? Where I think it's deep sea gigantism. I believe it's considered deep sea gigantism because I know there's the Greenland shark, right, which can like live like 500 some odd years, which is also super deep sea, but it's like a lot larger than it should be. I think. Again, don't quote me. I'm just going based off memory.
That one xenomorph shark.
Oh, goblin shark.
Now,
I hate that
despite the
thing.
word shark making most people think of something a little closer in size to, I don't know, Bruce, Slenderman's fish sonar over here only grows up to 30 centimeters.
He's
This
just a
little guy
He's a little scrotes my goats. He's just a little guy. He's trying his best.
shares a weight class with a fucking foot long. But I mean, honestly, I still personally think 30 centimeters is way too big. He could be just as good as the other sharks if he was, you know, let's just say 3 inches. However, Other than being built like a fishy USB cable and owning a property in rock bottom, what makes him so weird? Simple. He fucking glows.
Oh.
But fucking why?
So
Well,
he's
you see, these
bioluminescence?
bad boys are found in the twilight zone of the ocean, around 1.2 kilometers below the surface.
Yeah.
A place so fucking far down, it sees less sunlight than the inside of a gacha addict's room. And so,
Gasp.
lantern sharks evolved bioluminescence on their gills and fins in order to fucking communicate with one another.
That's crazy.
The glow is the evolutionary equivalent of a fucking indicator, showing that a literal abyss shark is more intelligent than your average BMW driver.
That's fair.
Okay, so as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe you an
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, assuming that he's gonna call the video fake, cause... Huh?
explanation for this one.
Unless it, like, propels itself?
Is a normal fucking Roo.
What?
No, he is not Roosus Christ. He's not
Roosus
the second
Christ?
coming.
Oh my... Roosus Christ? I love that. What the hell?
And he's not going to turn your water into wine.
Damn.
Alright, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice.
I'll try it.
But if that's the case, how the fuck is he stealing the Son of God's passive? Well, the answer is fucking sand.
I don't like
Oh.
Yeah, you see,
It's a
what's
sandbar.
far more likely than a Roo being enchanted with water walking is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description.
Okay, so it
for
was
ocean
fake, yeah, yeah.
currents
Well, not-
piling
it's not
up
fake,
a
but camera
shitload
angle.
of sand into one place, creating an offshore segment of the water that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool.
Yep. Okay.
Now, Roos
That's what I
know
figured.
about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find more food.
That's actually great.
So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus' entire fucking flow, he's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a...
This is the world...
Hey, look at that! Pre-watch confirmed. Pre-watch confirmed. Greenland shark. Yep, I totally called it. Look at him. Look at him. He's such a cute little guy. He's so derpy.
world's oldest shark.
We got a boomer!
But how old actually is it? This absolute fossil over here is the Greenland shark. And this may come as a shock to you, but the Greenland shark is found in fucking Greenland, man.
What? Crazy.
And with Grandpa Shark here coming in at a fucking...
Isn't there a dish that people actually make in Greenland? Like, from this guy? Like, don't they have to, like... Because if I remember correctly, again, you don't have to quote me. You can tell me that I'm an idiot in the comment section, whatever. Please don't do that. I'm very sensitive. But, like, don't they, like... Isn't he toxic? Like, isn't his skin and flesh toxic? So they have to let it sit out in the sun for, like, months and ferment so then they could actually eat it? Right?
kaiju size, 6 meters.
Yeah, he's
in
21
length,
feet. Yeah,
and
yeah,
a
see, deep sea
literal
gigantism.
fucking ton in weight. This senior citizen
No, not so
probably worked with Godzilla back in his fucking day. But how senior is senior? Well, you might be expecting him to say something along the lines of, 100 years, maybe 150 years, right?
It's another shark? Hold on. Let's go look it up. Let's see which one it is. Shark. Wait, what would we look up? How would we look this up? Fermented shark meat? Fermented shark meat? Hakarl. It's Greenland shark. No, it is Greenland shark. I was right. It's called Hakarl. And it's fermented shark, and it's usually a Greenland shark or another sleeper shark. So it is this one. No, it is this shark. Okay, see, I knew what I was talking about.
Try higher. No, not 200. Close, but not 300 either.
Chocolate.
No, the Greenland shark can live up to 500 fucking years.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand
It's
how
older
old
than
that
you
is.
guys,
To
chat.
put it in perspective, this is Bob. Bob,
He was around when GTA Vice City came out. He was around when you were playing N64 and you put in Mario 64 for the first time. Hell, by the way, gamers, I'm going to make you all feel ancient right now, and the comment section will remember this moment more than any other point of this video, and I'm going to let you know this. Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the Xbox 360, so when you were playing that system, it was 2 decades ago. That is all.
Has just turned 500. Here is a list of things this has lived through. All 8 of King Henry's divorces, the invention of chocolate.
I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Shakespeare's entire lifespan.
That's insane.
The Boston Tea Party.
That's insane.
The signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States. The colonization
He might even be around when GTA 6 comes out. For real. For real.
of Australia. The Industrial f***ing Revolution. The invention of the light bulb and adoption of electricity. The Titanic becoming a submarine. World War I.
This is
the Great
amazing. It's
Depression.
amazing.
World War II. The Vietnam War. The f***ing moon landing and the invention of the internet. The first episode of SpongeBob. Schlatt's Crimes
first
in
episode
99.
of SpongeBob.
2001. The invasion of Iraq. The global financial crisis. The death of Harambe.
No.
Australia catching fire. The virus. And it's still with us today to watch this turtle breathes through its butt.
Really? Really? We're 2 seconds in. We're 2 seconds in and we are already into butt breathing. All right.
No,
Thank you.
this
Thank
is
you
not
for
a
that.
joke. This is a Fitzroy River turtle, native to the land down under.
It's cute.
And as with most of the shit found in God's Drafts folder, its existence
God's drafts folder. That's accurate. That's fair.
begs a single question. Fucking why?
Yeah.
Well, these little guys are freshwater bottom feeders, snatching and consuming the children of aquatic insects
Okay.
and munching down on the occasional ribbonweed salad. And as with most river turtle species, this requires them to spend most of their time in the water.
Right.
Now, rather than doing what most turtles do and developing an insane lung capacity,
Okay.
the Fitzroy decided to evolve a set of gills alongside their lungs to allow them to stay underwater for 3 weeks at a
That is insane. Like, for comparison to other creatures, that is insane. Also, I need to lower the volume a little bit, but like, cause more is just so loud. I don't know if it's the Aussie thing, because it's like the same volume as the previous video, but damn, is he so much louder. But what the hell?
time.
Hello, how are you?
3 weeks later.
I am under the water.
However, when placing the gills, God was absolutely fucking plastered. And instead of placing them on the neck like a normal animal, he slipped on a beer can and not only placed them on its ass, but inside of it.
What? Wouldn't that, like, be incredibly problematic? Wouldn't that be, like, incredibly problematic? I thought it was going to be, like, an overstatement, like the gills were going to be on the backside or on the tail, something along those lines. But inside of the butt, how does that not become a problem with waste? How does that not have a problem with waste?
And you know what makes this even worse? Turtles do not have a single-purpose hole like you or me. They have a cloaca.
Oh
which
my
is
God.
the
It's for
fucking
reproductive.
Swiss Army knife of holes. This means that Fitzroy River turtles shit, piss, breathe, and fucking mate out of the same hole.
I feel bad for this turtle. I feel bad for this turtle. What? Everything with this is wrong. Everything with this one is wrong. Like, The implications of it is, I mean, look, there's always some weird details with nature, right? Like orcas, if I remember correctly, orcas' nipples are like an inch away from its anus. So like it literally is like right next, like where because remember, orcas are mammals, they have to provide milk, right? So it's like right next to where they produce waste, which is insane to me. But this is like exponentially worse. This is exponentially worse. Oh my god.
I don't think you understand just how old sharks are.
Okay, that was Whiplash.
See, I'm not just talking individual sharks. Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff.
No,
Your average
Jeff!
shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing
Right.
all that special. I'm talking sharks as a species. Because
I mean, they haven't changed. I mean, sharks for the most part really haven't changed much. What is it like? I'm going to throw a number out there and I'm going to be way off and then I'll look like an idiot. 200 million years? 200 million years is my guess?
Sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has thrown at them. From climate change, to the Ice Age, to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur. Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric shark species, most people think of the megalodon. That big boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around...
There's actually a video that I wanted to watch with you guys about the whale that possibly was a predator to the megalodon. So we might do that eventually too. 26 million, yeah, but I said 200, right? I said
26 million years ago, which might sound like a long time.
400
but,
million at least.
As far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer. Go back around 250 million years.
That's
to
where
the
I was
early
guessing,
Triassic,
right? Yeah.
Before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion. A shark with a...
Yes, okay, the thing with the chainsaw, not really a chainsaw, but it has like the blade in the middle of its jaw. Okay, yeah, I've seen these before. This was ridiculous looking. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely gonna predate what I guess. It's gonna be something like between 400 and 600 million, right?
Buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the fucking pog shark. And if that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Doliotis problematicus, at 410 million years old.
All right, but it's not really a recognizable as a shark. Do you know what I mean? I understand that it's a precursor to the shark. I wouldn't call this, I would not call this guy recognizable as a shark. I don't think anybody who looks at this at first glance is like, this guy right here, this is a shark. Like, again, even as an early ancestor, it looks closer to a tigerfish than it does to a shark.
Sharks have existed for 4 times longer than Saturn has had rings. The first tree only sprouted out of the ground 385 million years ago. That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this chased Nemo.
Oh, I love that. Doliotis, the first Bruce.
This jellyfish is...
Wait, I know this one. I have complained about this one a bunch, not complained, but I've talked about this one a bunch on stream. This is the reason why I would never go scuba diving in Australia. This is irukandji. I'm pretty sure this is irukandji. It looks familiar because it looks just like the box jelly, but super small. Irukandji is literally the worst thing. Evil little bastard.
It's basically a time bomb. Introducing the irukandji.
Okay, I'm gonna get crap for this again from the Australians because I say things differently. They say irukandji, I guess. I always said irukandji.
Species of jellyfish native to the northern waters of the land down under, and possibly my least favourite animal in the entire ocean, because it is just a massive, spiteful...
little dick. Yup.
Well, massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny.
It's like the size of your thumbnail, right?
Ridiculously small. being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head, and
Okay.
basically...
I swear to God I didn't pre-watch this. I swear to God I did not pre-watch this, that I was able to predict the exact reference of measurement he made. I swear. Oh my God. Oh my God.
completely f***ing invisible to the naked eye.
They get, yeah, these things get through the nets, because I remember hearing, I don't remember what the documentary was, but I remember they were talking about how there are nets protecting the Great Barrier Reef, right? And divers can go on these dives, but the irukandji can get through the mesh of the nets because they're so small, right? So that's one of like the big fears with them. And again, you guys can correct me on that. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I remember vaguely.
A fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles and shocking absolutely no one.
Say the line, Bart.
It is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm so f***ing tired of the stealth poison multi-classes on OCE servers, dude. This shit is broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the barest touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin like a bullet and inject you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail
Neurotoxin.
of various neurotoxins.
Yeah.
And upon being injected, you will feel...
I swear to God, we're going to find one of these things and it's going to not have neurotoxin. And then it's going to have neurotoxin a year later. Like, even though evolution doesn't happen that fast, there's going to be some type of creature from Australia that's going to be like, yeah, I don't have neurotoxin at all. Year later, boom, neurotoxin.
Absolutely f***ing nothing. You'll keep swimming around, splashing about in the water,
Yep.
kissing the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean the kind of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die.
I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die!
That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a condition known as irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong there are records of people asking to be, avoiding a ban here, forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server.
Wow.
And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain throughout.
I was going to say, I don't think the kill rate on it is really high, but I know that it's like you want to leave the Minecraft server, right? Like it's bad. It is very, very bad. But yeah, this is the reason why I will never dive in Australia. I love diving. Will never dive in Australia.
Your entire body. And after making you feel like a failed isekai protagonist, the venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart rate through the roof, which can cause heart attacks, blood clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages.
Oh.
And the f***ed up part is, it doesn't have an anti-venom.
This thing sneak attacks you, waits 30 minutes, sends you a private DM telling you it got your ass, and there is not a f***ing thing you can do about it.
Okay, to any Aussie viewers who watch this as a standalone video later, can you guys tell me if it is like commonly lethal to get stung by these guys, or if it is like just something that makes you want to like leave the Minecraft server? Because I've always been under the impression that it's not typically lethal.
Toxic little shit. This animal will peel your face off like a banana.
Koala.
Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie.
Huh?
The infamous, terrifying drop bear.
This is something that a lot of the Aussies commented in my previous videos. I didn't know. I was waiting to watch a video about drop bears, but I don't know what they are. This just looks like a wet koala. What?
A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may
Wait, is
seem
it not a
pretty normal
koala?
at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design.
What?
See, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus.
No, this is a troll. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. No, this is a meme. This is not real. This is not real. Don't you tell me the drop bears. This is not real. It's just a koala with fangs.
eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of.
No.
Once you've walked in the rain,
I'm gonna call this now. This is definitely just a meme Australians have for everybody else who's already afraid of Australia. Like, I'm sorry. I don't believe this for a second. I don't believe this for a second. Like, first of all, this thing would not have the name Drop Bear. Like, it wouldn't have the name Drop Bear. It sounds like some 15-year-old came up with this on Creepypasta. Nah. I don't believe this. I don't believe you. I might be looking like a fool at the end of this, and it's somehow a real thing. I do not believe this is real. I think this is Aussies who like to play tricks on everybody else.
The drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger.
Watch me just laugh at this whole time, and it's real, but I don't believe that. I don't believe for a second. It's just a koala. It's just a wet koala. I'm gonna guess someone saw it, said, "Oh, this thing's terrifying." Said, "Oh, we could absolutely scare these Americans," something like that.
The drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws in an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw.
I'm sure.
The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive.
Yeah, I'm sure. This came out on April Fool's, right? He must have released this short on April Fool's.
Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks. So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit.
Gasp! It's almost like I was able to see that one coming. I'm pretty look. It was very obvious, right? It's not like this. I don't think I'm big brained for figuring that one out. It's all bad Photoshop stuff. But like, I was so curious what they were when Aussies were commenting this shit in my comment section for the previous Australia videos. So I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see something about drop bears. I will say they got me because I was excited to watch a video on them. Now I understand why.
Bears aren't real. I made it all up. April Fool's Kangaroos can and will beat you up.
Oh?
That's right, just because it's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass. And Australia's most iconic marsupial can do just
cute,
that.
Though.
Because they are way bigger than you think they are. With our biggest species of roo coming in at a ridiculous 2.8 meters in length. And with the iconic hop, they've got a vertical jump of 3 meters.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, with a stat spread like that, they don't belong in the outback, they belong on a fucking NBA court. As if that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks, weighing in at a full 90 kilos of roid-raging rabbit muscle.
Okay, so question though, because there's another question for like people who have been around kangaroos regularly. I know kangaroos are not. I know they're muscular, right? But those really roided out ones are really uncommon, right? They're not normally that muscular, from what I understand, right? That's more of a matter of like a few of them really have the deep muscle tone, but I don't think that's that common. From my understanding, I don't know for sure. That's why I'm actually asking if you guys know. Also, the most recent video I've seen of kangaroos actually that was kind of terrifying. It was like drowning someone's dog. Some Aussie went up to it and started fighting it to get his dog back. That, definitely something I wouldn't want to mess around with.
And being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has any right to, pegging the speedo at a max of 70k an hour. Meaning if you make them angry, a juiced up rat the size of a small car is going to run your ass down and beat the f***ing brakes off you.
And I'm not kidding when I say they really will rock your shit, because roos are professional kickboxers, with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight, kangaroos will lean back on their tails
God,
as a
that's
stabilizer
intimidating.
and immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving shit out of one another. And those kicks have enough force to crack bone. And as if getting drop-kicked by a muscled marsupial wasn't bad enough, they also, for some reason, have the same bite force as a grizzly bear. Because
What?
why not? Now, even with
Okay, I have actually learned something incredibly new here. I never knew that they had any bite force, let alone that. That is crazy. How many people die to roos in Australia every year? I'm sure it's not zero.
all of this,
That's
there
crazy.
are still animals stupid enough to view a roo as lunch. Which brings me to the most terrifying thing that they do. When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of water and wait for whatever is chasing them to follow them in. Once the predator enters the water, the kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck and just straight up drown them.
That's what happened with the video. That's what happened with the video I was talking about. Oh my god. That is actually terrifying. That is actually terrifying.
What the f***, man? I share a country with psychopathic tren rats. Oh! Wombats defend themselves by...
Look at him. I used him in the thumbnail. Look at him. He's so cute. In the thumbnail for the stream, by the way, not for the video that I'll put this in. But, like, look at him. He's so cute. I love him.
throwing it back. But to understand how the fuck they actually do
I
it,
want
you're
one.
going to need to learn a little bit about them first. You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys.
I want a
all of them
wombat.
equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for
Don't tell me
themselves
it can
and the
kill me. I
family to
want
live
it.
in, because, like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man.
Fair.
They go to around 1.3 meters in length, but despite being small, they are built like fucking tanks, weighing in at a chunky ass 35 kilos. But despite their weight, I shit you not, they have a top speed of 40k an hour. Now, the fact that they can nearly get booked in a school zone, coupled with them being a tank-class marsupial, forms the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat anatomy is they spec all their defense points into their ass. Rather than having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused cartilage, making it extremely solid. And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense mechanism
Does it
I
throw
have
its
ever
ass at
seen
you?
on an animal. Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its head in and start trying to dig him out. In response, the wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse, and fucking floor it backwards up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then squashes the predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow, straight up crushing its skull like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
You get killed by the dumpy. You get ended by the dumpy of doom. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love it even more.
I cannot make this shit up.
As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. Until next time.